Hey everybody, my name is Carly Vansickle, and today I'm going to tell y'all a little bit about my life and my life story. I'm going to start off with a quote by Nipsey Hussle. He's a really great idol of mine. He started the marathon, and the marathon is an ideology about how life is a marathon. You know, you can't just stop in one place. You just got to keep it going, keep it hustling, keep it grinding. And I really relate to that because I've been through a lot of stuff. And the quote is, I'm about seeing long term, seeing a vision, understanding nothing really worthwhile happens overnight, and just sticking to the script long enough to make something real happen. I start off with that quote because it really touched me. I've been through a lot in life, and a lot of people go through a lot of things in life. Unfortunately, it happens, you know, good or bad. And whether it's luck or just your circumstances or how your cards are played out, you got to keep on going. For me, I'm a very strong individual. I have my goals in my life. I have a vision that I see, and it's really important to manifest what you see in your head. Manifestation is huge, and I wish a lot of people knew about it because a lot of people find themselves in circumstances that they just can't control. And the only way I believe that you could get out of those circumstances is envisioning yourself in a better reality. Sometimes you just have to envision and hustle and grind to get to that reality that you want to see yourself in. And that's exactly what I've been doing for myself. And I'm living proof that it works. I'm going to start off by just telling y'all a little bit about myself and what I've been through. When I was 9 years old, my mom passed away, and she was an alcoholic. She struggled a lot in her life, and being an alcoholic and also a drug addict, it's not an easy route. I grew up very, very fast. I think I was 5 or 6, and I just had a very, very tough time in my life. My dad also was a drug addict at the time too. So I was 5, 6 years old, you know, knowing and being aware that my parents weren't really meant to be parents, and I really had to take care of myself. So when my mother passed away at 9 years old, my dad had to get it together, you know, especially since we were taken away from CPS when I think I was around 7 years old. But we were lucky enough to go and spend some time, instead of going into the foster care system, spend some time with my dad's ex-wife. Her name was Agnes, and she took us in for a year. My dad had to do a program, same as my mom, but my mom couldn't finish it because she had some of her issues, medical issues, and that led down a different path of, instead of alcoholism, it went to abuse of narcotics, and that's eventually how she passed away when I was 9 years old. But by that time, my dad got himself together and got us back. Being the little girl that I was and losing my mom, I thought maybe this was a beginning for me to have a normal life, and little did I know that wasn't the case. When you do drugs and abuse it, you have a lot of psychological effects. You're not going to be normal, unfortunately, and my dad wasn't normal. That's the simplest way I'm going to keep it, as he just wasn't normal. He suffered from a lot of mental illness, and growing up, I was still developing, I was still grieving, I was still trying to figure myself out, and I had to suffer a lot because of my dad. He was very abusive and still is. I could only imagine the pain that I went through because I really had to blink myself out of it because it was that bad. I want to say it was mentally, sometimes physical, but it was mostly mental and emotional. It's hard because he was a single dad, and I still to this day find a lot of empathy for him and sympathy because it's hard, you know, and he was just somebody that should have never become a parent. Neither should have my mom become a parent, but there are two very broken people that found each other in this world, and it unfortunately caused a lot of havoc in my life. So with that being said, that's kind of my life story. I endured a lot of abuse, but I also got it together. I'm a very strong woman. I graduated high school very early. I graduated 2 years early. I was a manager at 16. I bought my first car. I'm going to school for nursing. I'm about to apply for the program in next September, which is my biggest vision that I want to see myself go, is be a nurse and help people. And I'm getting therapy, I'm getting help, and I'm becoming a stronger person. It's not easy. Every day you gotta take it day by day. I do still live with my dad, but you know, he hasn't changed, but I've learned how to envision myself in a better place. Because if you envision yourself and look backwards, you're gonna put yourself backwards. And sometimes you're closer to where you wanna get. So you gotta look ahead to where you wanna get. And that's exactly what I did. I planted seeds and I'm growing. And I still got a lot more to grow before I blossom into where I want to go. And that's fine. That's totally fine because I'm staying strong, I'm staying dedicated, and that's exactly what Nipsey Hussle was talking about. Life is a marathon. You know, you're gonna have your ups and downs, but you gotta keep on continuing until you get to where you want to see yourself. And my object for today, I know this is a little long, my object for today is this. I started planting, and these are my favorite plants because these were one of the first plants. I have much cooler ones, but these ones were the first ones that I planted, and they were little seeds, and now they're growing. And I think this represents me. You know, I had to start planting seeds first in order to see something happen, but it's not gonna happen overnight. You gotta keep on visioning it, you gotta keep on manifesting it, and you gotta stay dedicated, and you gotta hustle, because life isn't always, you know, pretty and dandelions and rainbows. And you need to have sunlight. You need to continue to water yourself so you can see yourself grow. And this is exactly who I am. I'm not there yet, but I'm gonna get there. So my name is Carly Van Sickle. I appreciate anybody who listened to this. I think it's just my professor. But yes, so that is me. This is who I stand for, and that's a little bit of my life story. It sounds tragic, but I'm a strong individual, and I'm going to continue to hustle for my goals, and I'm going to be very successful in my life, and I'm going to change a lot of people's lives because that's my life purpose, and I realized that at a very young age. Thank you for listening to me.